Hello everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to Sunday Show and Tell. Little quick aside before we get started. The temperature around here went from like almost literally overnight 40 degrees and snow to 70 degrees and everything is melting. So the weather is playing Molly Hobb with my sinuses right now. So if I sound congested or if you hear any funky noises coming out of me, I just want to apologize for that right off the bat. Now, let's dive into what we're going to talk about today because we have some things to go over. Not a whole lot, but there's a lot of interesting stuff. So, like, even though we don't have a lot to talk about, what we do have to talk about, I think, is all very interesting. And we are going to start off today's show with the Transformers, because over the past week, and at least one of these things is more than a week old, we've had a lot coming out for the Transformers. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the two Transformers that was part of Walmart CollectorCon. And believe me, we will be talking about the CollectorCon later. But I mentioned them a lot during my videos for the Walmart CollectorCon, but we didn't really take a look at them. So I thought we would do that now because time of recording, they are still available for pre-order on Walmart's website. As always, everything we talk about, if there's a link available for it, it will be in the show notes down below. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Transformers Cybertron Sideways. Going with the adage that the bad guys get all of the cool stuff, this is the Decepticon of the two that came out for the CollectorCon. And I have to admit, this looks really cool. I like the color palette. I really like that dark color palette with like some metallics going on. The jet mode right here, for some reason, it sparks a memory. It looks familiar. I can't really explain why, but there's something very familiar about that, and I think that's something else that draws me to this. And something that I noticed, he has no hands. He just has like big blades on the end of each arm. He has no hands. I don't know if those will pop off and he has like unfolding hands, or if he has like hand set that you can put on his wrists. But just looking at this, he just has big blades going on. Cost on this is $24.99, Walmart exclusive. And the other one that was part of the Walmart CollectorCon is Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Transformers Cybertron Excellion. This is the Autobot of the team. And if you look at his color palette and then look at his alt mode right here, his vehicle mode, I swear he looks like he could be Hot Rod's brother. Maybe he is, I don't know, but this definitely looks like it could be Hot Rod's brother, or if they came up with Hot Rod now, this is what he would end up looking like. I dig that translucent gun. I don't know why. It's a really nice touch. I really like it. I think it looks cool. Once again, $24.99. Also, obviously, a Walmart exclusive. Now, something that is not Walmart exclusives. There were some interesting reveals, some interesting pre-orders that went off this week. And one of them is this guy, Legacy Evolution Voyager Class Nacelle. It's obviously another Seeker in his Cybertron mode, or at least the Cybertron mode from the G1 cartoon series. I don't know if all of the Seekers look like this, depending on the media. But to me, this is very obviously like a G1 Seeker on Cybertron. I really like the color palette. I have no idea who this guy is. I've never heard of this name. And honestly, I don't know if maybe they're just reusing the Seeker mold, giving new colors, and then just naming them, knowing people will army build the Seekers. I don't know. But I do like the color palette. I think that looks really cool. And that guy is $34.99, $35. And as always, links in the description below. Going along with something that just, I loved the Dinobots when I was a kid. What kid didn't love the Dinobots? But above and beyond everything else, the Stegosaurus, since I was a kid, has always been my favorite dinosaur. Which leads us to this guy, my man, my hero, my champion, Snarl. This is the Studio Series 86-19 Leader Class Dinobot Snarl. This is based Now, it says this is based off of the 1986, 8619, get it? The 1986 movie version of Snarl. But isn't that just based off of the cartoon version of Snarl? So, he was my favorite dinosaur, or the Stego was my favorite dinosaur when I was a kid. For some reason, I didn't have Snarl when I was a kid. I don't know why. I had Grimlock, was Slag the Triceraton, and then I had Swoop, and I think that was it. I only had 3 Dinobots. What was wrong with me? You get Snarl, you get the sword, and you get the backdrop, which from what I understand, I think a lot of these like leader class figures, you get like a display as part of the box that's in there, backdrop as part of the box. He is $54.99, $55. And then we have one that I know is just a repaint, but he looks really cool. And I think this is leading into the 13 primes that they are going to be doing. That we have the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime. This guy is awesome. He is 100% just a repaint of an Optimus Prime that came out either last year or a few years ago. But the paint job on him, that white paint job with those angel wings, just really makes him stand out, really makes him like, it's really attention grabbing, really makes a statement. I think he looks really cool. Like I said, it's basically a repaint of Optimus Prime with big wings and bigger guns. But there's just something about it that looks like almost mythological to me. He is $54.90. Is it 54? Yeah. He is $54.99, $55, same as Snarl. And, I mean, just look at him. In his truck mode and in his bot mode, he looks really cool. Now, this next one we're going to be talking about actually didn't come out this week. It came out last week, but I forgot to mention it, which is odd because of how I feel about this one. This is the Generations Age of the Primes Deluxe Decepticon Crasher. Now look, when I was a kid, I unironically actually liked the GoBots better than the Transformers. I liked the personalities, I liked the characters, I liked the backstory to the GoBots better than the Transformers. I also liked that they were smaller because I could take a handful of them no matter where I was going. If I was going to grandma's, if I was going to a friend's, whatever, you could get your collector case, you could put like 20 in there and you're ready to go. You're ready to play. Crasher was one of my favorites in the cartoon and as of the toy. So when this came out originally, I think it was 2 years ago, it was a Walmart exclusive and it sold out really fast. And she was really hard to find. Like she never showed up on the shelf at any of my Walmarts. And if I did go to the Walmart's website, it was only by resellers, and they were selling her for like $50, $70, and I just didn't want to pay that much for her. Now she's back as an Age of the Primes deluxe piece. And while they've made updates to a lot of the GoBots in their Transformers versions, I'm still waiting for them to repaint Starscream as Leader 1. But I think this, out of all of the other ones that I've seen, I think this is the one that, like, I feel like this is a worthy update to Crasher. She's still that race car. She still has sort of like that psychotic look in the faceplates that we have right here. We get 2 different expressions, and I couldn't tell in the description. There was nothing mentioned in the description if it's different faceplates or if the jaw actually articulates, the mouth actually articulates, so you can do the open mouth or the closed mouth. The only thing that I'm having a hard time getting over is seeing a Renegade with blasters in her hands rather than just... I'm actually thinking of getting this because right now the only Transformers I really have on pre-order are the Constructicons as they come out because I want Devastator. But this is Crasher. And we're not going to get new versions of the GoBots. Let's just admit that. And the only version of Crasher I have is my original 1980s Crasher that's about this big. I might get this just because I've been wanting an update for Crasher, and I think this is a worthy I think this is like a worthy follow-up to the original figure. She's 5.5 inches tall. She's $24.99. So she's the original price she was when she was a Walmart exclusive. Not a bad deal, not a bad price. Looks pretty good. Another thing that we're going to talk about today that I have kind of mixed feelings on. I'm interested to know what the Transformers fans think, and that is the reveal of the Transformers SDCC exclusive, this Jetfire and Void Rivals 3-pack. You get Jetfire, and then you get, hold on, what's their names? Zertonian Solilia and Agorian Derek. This is from Void Rivals #1. Void Rivals was the title that introduced us into the Energon universe. I don't know why they introduced us into the Energon universe with some, quite honestly, generic aliens that no one had heard of. But Jetfire does make an appearance in issue 1 of the Void Rivals. And I'm kind of curious about this because I'm wondering if this is going to follow suit with like the Transformers G.I.Joe mashup, in that these 3 3/4 figures of the aliens from Void Rivals, are they going to be able to fit into Jetfire when he transforms into his jet mode? Like, will the canopy open and you can get both of them in there? That would be really cool, or at least one of them, because that would be really cool, because then like they could match up with your Transformers G.I. Joe line. All you would need to do is get like your hands on a 3 3/4 Ace, or at least some sort of 3 3/4 pilot, and with Super 7 doing the reaction figures, that might be easier than I think. But that could mesh real well with like your Transformers G.I. Joe mashup. I honestly have no care for the 2 Void Rival figures, but that Jetfire looks really cool. Unfortunately, this is the only photo I've been able to find so far. We haven't seen him transformed into his jet mode, or if, like I wondered, if the figures are going to be able to fit into the cockpit or not. Also, there's no price revealed on this yet, but considering what the G.I. Joe mashups have gone for, I'm going to guess this is going to be at least around like $99.99, $100. And the last thing we're going to be talking about for Transformers is, of course, a Leo Kaiser update. So we have 9 days left for this guy. Time of recording, he is at 17,301 backers. You need 18,000 to unlock the figure stand, and then all tiers will be unlocked. So basically, we only need 700 more backers to go all in and have everything unlocked for Leo Kaiser. With 9 days left, I don't doubt that's going to happen. And the Transformers HasLabs always seem to make their money, make their mark. And I'm guessing that in the last week, or at least even in those last couple of days, there's going to be a rush of people coming in, dropping money on it, and just deciding to back it. It's all the people that wait until the last week or the last few days to back something that they know they're going to back from the beginning. I don't get that. So 700 more backers will get you the stand, and then your Leo Kaiser will be complete. And speaking of crowdfunders, we're going to check in on 2 other projects that are going on right now. The first one we're going to look at is one that's important to me, at least, and that is Space Zombies from Mars on Kickstarter. We have 16 more days to go of the campaign, and currently we are at $33,819 of the $118,141 that is needed to meet its goal. Now, I know it looks like it may not happen, but honestly, at about this time, the last Kickstarter I funded, which was The Cursed Dead, we were in about the same boat, and I didn't think that was going to fund either. But in like the last week, there was really a big tick, a really big pickup of backers, of money coming in. So I'm still hopeful that Space Zombies from Mars are going to meet their mark. Also, they are now up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. So if you were looking to maybe get into this, but didn't want to pay up front, but still wanted to put some on pre-order, you can get them at Big Bad Toy Store now as well. There will be a link to the Big Bad Toy Store page and the Kickstarter in the link below. They are a little bit more expensive on Big Bad Toy Store than they are on Kickstarter. On Kickstarter, they're $40 each with discounts if you buy a bundle. And on Big Bad Toy Store, they are $49 each. Now, the other crowdfunder we're going to be taking a look at is one that I'm very curious to see if it's going to make it, and that is the Four Horsemen Beyithirr, the Pillar of the West. This big dragon, I've heard a lot of people talking about this big dragon, but I haven't heard anybody commit to whether or not they're going to back it. And I think part of the problem is, honestly, the money. He's $550 for just the figure, then $150 for the Fire Breath set, then $150 for the wing set, and then the shipping on him is insane. Like I said, I went through the process just for fun to see how much shipping would cost. I didn't back it. I just took it to the checkout just to see what it would be. And I'm only one state over from where they're at, and shipping just the dragon alone was $75. So there's a hefty price tag with the shipping on this as well. One thing I did do is that the Fire Breath set right here, I didn't back the dragon, but I went in and I backed the Fire Breath set because I want the Burning Knight figure that comes with that. So if it does fund, I'm getting me my Burning Knight figure because I'm just going to buy this. I'm going to get the Knight. I'm going to bring it here, and then I'm just going to sell the whole dragon set. The neck extension, the head, the flame breath. So that's my plan, at least. However, if the dragon doesn't fund, then I know that flame set isn't going to fund. And right now, Beyithirr needs 2,000 units. 2,000 units to reach its funding goal. There's no gauge. We don't know how many units have actually sold yet, but on their website it says currently locked. So it hasn't reached its funding goal yet. And I'm willing to bet that a large part of this, like I said, is the price, but also the fact that when you back this, you have to pay up front, and then you can't cancel your order. So I have a feeling this is going to be an all or nothing, that either they're not going to back it, it's not going to reach its funding goal, or everybody is waiting for like those last couple of days, saving up money, trying to decide if they're really in or not, since once it's bought, you can't back out of it. I'm very curious to see how this plays out for Beyithirr. Stepping away from crowdfunders and bringing it down to something a little bit more manageable, Mezco 112 put up their Conan the Barbarian figure for pre-order this week. This is obviously based off of the 1982 movie. This is based off of that scene where Conan and company infiltrated paradise under the mountain to save the princess. I love the war paint that they put on him. I love the likeness for Arnold. I think it's a really good likeness. He comes with 3 head portraits, 2 hair pieces, 6 pairs of hands, and of course he has his Atlantean sword with sheath. He also comes with all of the kibble that you've come to know and expect and love from the Mezco 112 figures. There's just a little bit too much to go into right now, but you can see that he does have his figure stand as well. And one other item that like just cracks me up is this disembodied head right here. Just a head for Conan lopping heads as he's going through paradise. There's no body with this. I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to use this as a pack-in. I love that they did it. I think it's going to be great. You could just have him like having his foot up, standing on like just a head. That's really cool. He did do a lot of decapitations in that movie though, especially at the end. Now, this is available for pre-order. It is available at Entertainment Earth with free shipping. Also worth noting that if you order from Mezco or if you pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store, both of those places require a non-refundable deposit. Entertainment Earth does not. Link in the description below. Cost on Conan is $105, which for a Mezco 112 figure actually isn't that bad, especially with everything that you're going to get right here. All things being equal, I would probably jump in and pre-order this guy, but I think we all know the one that I really want to get my hands on, and that is this one that's going to be going up for pre-order sometime this month, maybe this coming week. The Frazetta Girls Conan figure based off of, I did find what it's based off of, the Conan the Destroyer painting that Frazetta painted. And while we're talking about Frazetta, Harvinger Studios is doing their version of Death Dealer. Now, they have done a Frazetta figure. I actually have it coming. He was the Frazetta figure. I forget what the name of the figure was. I think it was just like guy with ball and chain or something like that. Like it didn't have like a proper title to it, but it was based off of one of Frazetta's paintings. I have that coming. That was part of the Kickstarter that I backed, and now they're jumping in with Death Dealer. We just had Elric, and this one, this guy looks great. I'm just going to be honest, like this guy looks great. He's going up for pre-order on the 21st of this month, so he'll be going up for pre-order next week, along with the Frazetta Girls Conan. Frazetta's taking a lot of my money this year already. He has lots of weapons, lots of gear. Looks like he has different armor sets that he can be wearing. No price yet. We'll have to wait until next week for when he goes up for pre-order. I'm very curious to see if there's going to be an early bird discount special, just like there was for Elric. But he has a lot of weapons, and honestly, with this one coming out and the success of this one, this might be like the final nail in the coffin to Loose Collector's Death Dealer. I really like Loose Collector's Death Dealer. I'm not going to lie. And for as expensive as it is, for the price tag that's on it, I've actually sat there a few times just staring at the screen, debating whether or not I wanted to spend $350 on Death Dealer and his big horse. But now, with this guy coming out, if he's the same price as a lot of the Harvinger Studios, a lot of the Savage Crucible figures, which I'm going to guess maybe retailing around $60 to $70, maybe a early bird price of $50, and then you get one of the Mythic Legion's Black Horses, you have a pretty good set for Death Dealer right there. So yeah, I definitely think I'm going with this one. Speaking of swords and sorcery, let's talk about some Masters of the Universe and how are these transitions going today. So today, time of recording, Saturday, a Masters of the Universe Origins Battle for Eternia 4-pack has gone up for pre-order that I'm not sure anybody knew was coming. And this is actually really cool. These are all new figures, all new characters for the Origins line. That we have the Paragon Champion of Eternia. Basically, he looks like a paladin. There is some reuse with this one, obviously with the armor, and also April's hammer is the hammer is April's hammer from the Turtles of Grayskull. So there is some reuse, but he looks really cool. I love that stark white paint job, which I think was quite obviously inspired by Masters of the Universe Revolution. And then we have the Skell Knight, a Demon Knight minion of Skeletor. I love that big Horkin sword that he has. We have the Horde Revenant that the description says comes from Hordax Oathbreakers. I have no idea who Hordax Oathbreakers were. I'm not that knowledgeable on the Horde, but he looks awesome. I don't know what the Oathbreakers are. He looks awesome. Really dig how the helmet is sculpted like the Horde's bat symbol. And then we have the Pit Warden, which is kind of like a two-batting of King Hiss. This obviously is a snake man, or a snake man. This is obviously a snake man. 2 heads, big python for this arm. It comes with a shield. The sword that he comes with is a repaint of Skeletor's 2000X sword. I don't know how some fans will feel about that, considering how iconic Skeletor's sword is from the 2000X line. And this is basically a 4-pack of army builders. So you could get 2 or 3 of these 4-packs, army build these figures out. And here's the thing. The 4-pack is only $64.99, $65, which honestly for a 4-pack of Origins figures isn't that bad. That's less than the $20 per figure that you usually spend on Origins figures. Something else that caught my attention was that the new Etheria, I kept calling her New Eternia, but it's New Etheria, the new Etheria She-Ra that had gone up for pre-order as part of the Walmart CollectorCon also went up for pre-order on Entertainment Earth today. I'll put a link to it in the description below, but just so you know, she has sold out at Entertainment Earth by the time I noticed and started recording this video. So she sold out pretty quickly. I'm guessing maybe Entertainment Earth had their hands on like a limited quantity, but I found it very interesting because I thought it was supposed to be a Walmart Collectors Con exclusive. As a matter of fact, I want to check on something. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, I just checked Mattel Creations' website to see if maybe she was up for pre-order on Mattel Creations as well. She is not. The only place you would be able to get her is either Walmart or Entertainment Earth. At least that's all I was able to find. And like I said, currently she is sold out at Entertainment Earth. She is still available on Walmart's website, though. Something else that went up for pre-order, and it's really no surprise, we knew it was coming, and as a matter of fact, the only reason I'm mentioning it is because I want half of this 2-pack, and that is the X-Force Marvel Legends series X-23 and Warpath 2-pack. Look, I could care less about Warpath. I only want Laura. I think that is a great figure of Laura. I don't have a Laura. I don't collect a lot of Marvel Legends. I only get some of the ones that like really catch my eye, and I've always dug the concept of X-23. I love how she's evolved in the comics, how they've evolved her story, her backstory, and her origin. I loved her portrayal in Logan, and like I said, her 2 new titles, NYX and Laura Kinney Wolverine, I'm really digging those as well. So like, I cannot express how much I want that Laura figure. I could care less about Warpath though. But the 2-pack is up for pre-order on all websites where fine toys are sold. $49.99, $50. Another new release that was announced this week, and if you're on the Jada Toys email list, then you probably already know about this, but Jada has revealed their WonderCon exclusive, and that is Street Fighter II Fei Long Player 2. Basically Fei Long with darker pants. Now this is going to be available for sale at WonderCon at their booth. However, if you can't make WonderCon, they have stated that this will also be available on the Jada website on 3/28. So what is it? That's not next week, right? No, that will be the last Friday of March. So it will be available. He will be available. And it's basically Fei Long with darker pants, but he does come with a few new accessories. That he has a pair of gripping hands, he has a double set of nunchucks, and he has that face, that face that the comparison to Bruce Lee at this point cannot be denied. That as a matter of fact, even though it probably wasn't used in the game, I don't think it was, they should totally come out with a version of this Fei Long with the yellow pants with the black stripe down the side. No price on this yet. I'm curious to see, well, at least none that I could find. I'm curious to see if it's going to be $24.99 or if it's going to be the bumped up $29.99. And finally, we're going to talk about Walmart CollectorCon. And between me and you, it was a hot mess. It was no fun this year. Not that these were ever particularly fun, but just the fact that when it went live, they just dumped everything all on like 4 pages, new and old, and you had to scroll through and dig to find the new stuff instead of prioritizing it. There were some things that sold out on the first day, such as Spider-Man 77, Black Series Dooku, R2-D2, and Spirit Spider. They were available for pre-order again on Friday. However, Spider-Man 77 did sell out again. Time of recording, he is sold out. Crystal Ball sold out in the first like hour and 15 on the first day, and he never went back up for pre-order. I think that's kind of crap, to be completely honest. They should have anticipated that that was going to be a popular figure. not only because of the popularity of the G.I. Joe Classified series right now, but just how cool they made him, the upgrades they gave him. Like, they should have been better prepared for that. They should have had more availability for Crystal Ball. The Black Series, not the Black Series, I'm sorry, the Night Force Beachhead and Quick Kick 2-pack never went up for pre-order. I'm guessing, like, we know Night Force is a Walmart exclusive. I'm guessing that's going to be held for the next CollectorCon, or they'll just randomly release it at some point in the spring. But I'm guessing that's going to be held over for the next CollectorCon, because we know we always get at least 2 of these throughout the year. So nothing on that yet. Time of recording, Dooku, R2, and Spirit Spider are still up for pre-order. Links to all of those in the description below. Unfortunately, but no surprise, the translucent You Can't See Me John Cena figure did sell out on Friday, and time of recording, they have not put him up for pre-order again. That's another one that, like, I'm not surprised that sold out at all. There have been fans that have been telling Mattel they have needed to do this for years, and I think now that Cena is doing his farewell tour, that only added to the excitement and the hype and the, oh, I gotta get that figure, because once, like, he's doing his farewell tour, and that's not to say he's not going to come out of retirement, because a lot of wrestlers have, but I just feel like once Cena walks away from it, that's going to be it. I think he wants to explore, you know, with the success of the Suicide Squad and the Peacekeeper, the Peacemaker series, and then they just filmed season 2. I think he wants to seriously start pursuing acting more than anything else. So this may not happen again, and I hope everybody that wanted one was able to get one. Something that is also still available for pre-order on the Walmart site, which does surprise me, is the Robot Wars Spawn figure, the autographed series Robot Wars Spawn figure. Because usually the stuff signed by Todd sells really fast. I'm impressed that this one is still around. If you made it this far, thank you for sticking around this long, and I want to apologize if there's any weird editing cuts throughout this video. It's because not only has the weather sort of clogged me up, but I do have a little bit of asthma that I kept having problems catching my breath throughout the whole video, and I had to keep starting and stopping. So sorry about that. Also, before we go, don't forget that next week on 3/18 is the G.I. Joe live stream that got postponed. There's going to be a lot of reveals coming off of that. I'm really curious to see if they're going to talk about Cold Slither. I'm still curious to see if they're going to release the Thunder Machine, or at least announce the Thunder Machine, or if the mention of the Dreadnoks was just for Cold Slither. I'm interested. I really want to see what they have coming out. Well, look who made it to the end, you legend. If you made it this far, please give the video a like and consider subscribing while you're clicking buttons down there. If you already are a subscriber, I want to thank you for taking time and hanging out with me and talking toys again. If you like what we do here and you want to help the channel out, please consider becoming a member of the Steel Core. You can do so by channel memberships or by becoming a monthly subscriber to my Ko-fi page. Link in the description below. Core members get access to members-only exclusive videos, the Discord server, and eventually members-only live streams, all for just $1 per month. So until next time, my friends, play well, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.